Hey guys, I'm out here at Gym City Comic Con in Dayton, Ohio. I'm going to take a look at the convention floor here. I'm here with my buddy Marshall, and we'll see what all they have. Hey everyone, Gym City Comic Con was held April 27th and April 28th, 2019 at the Dayton Convention Center. This was my very first time attending the show. It was a pretty darn good show, a lot better than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting much. I talked to Josh Pence, a fellow YouTuber, and he really didn't speak too highly of it, but I didn't have much going on, and I thought, you know, I always love going and checking out a show, so I'd go and check it out, and I really had a fun time. This first vendor here had a really good selection of loose modern Star Wars, as well as some card stuff as well, and I really appreciated this style of organization. I go to lots of shows, and I don't see too many people use the card boxes to put their loose figures in. I really liked it because it made it easier to go through these bins and really see what I saw, so I'm not digging through here missing stuff, or, you know, not seeing things, or looking at things twice. He really had a good selection, so I'm going to show those off here, and his prices were pretty decent too. Now, obviously, this being a Comic-Con, the main focus at the show definitely was not toys. There was plenty of comic vendors there, plenty of people that had stuff, but the people that did have toys had a pretty good representation. There wasn't very much vintage at the show at all, so if you were going there hoping for vintage, you're going to be disappointed, but there were a lot of modern stuff. Sadly, no G.I. Joes or Thundercats, anything like that, but as far as like modern Star Wars, Marvel Legends, Funko Pops, things of that nature, there were absolutely tons of them at the show, but it was really nice to see. Now, like I said, there were absolutely plenty of comics. And sadly, I don't really read comics much anymore. I was really into comics during high school, but once I got into college really took a lot of my money, and I had to really decide what it was that I was going to do, and I went, you know, full force into toy collecting, and I had to give up reading comics. I have friends here at school that, you know, love comics, and I still love them. I just can't afford to buy, you know, an issue every week to stay up to date with that story. So, I still appreciate them for what they are. I just don't collect them anymore. Now guys, if you were looking for Funko Pops, you would not be disappointed. This show had an absolutely great selection. There were vendors that had huge setups of Funko Pops, and I almost would describe this setup as like almost a big bin of Funko Pops. I mean, just about a pop from every line you could think of, and a couple, you know, stacks high of these flats full of pops. Like I was saying, guys, I really do appreciate these comics. I mean, look at these art. The art on these covers is just so cool to check out. Another thing I don't usually get to see, guys, are people dealing with loose Funko Pops. Typically, when I go to shows, it's always in a box, and this setup had quite a few loose ones, including an entire tub that you could just dig through if you wanted to. I really thought these little miniatures here were pretty cool. The Godzilla I really thought about picking up, but sadly the battery compartment was corroded, so I let that one go. And as you can see, guys, this booth really had a ton of Funko Pops, as well as some really awesome covers to check out. Now here is actually a pretty unique booth. This person had all handmade, like as far as like painted ornaments. They had coasters, light switch covers, and just about a little bit of everything, but it was all handmade, which is really cool to check out. Now this art here I thought was very interesting. It was all made from copper wire with like rubber coating, and it was really neat to get check that out, and I get an opportunity even to speak with the artist, so here you guys go. Hey guys, I'm out here at Gem City Comic Con with Kivas here. Kivas has an art style that's really cool. I've never seen anything like it before. Yeah. So why don't you tell everyone about what you do?
Well, I'm a wire artist. I create wire figurines and sculptures out of 22 gauge copper wire. And basically what I do is I'll take the wire and I'll build the form out of whatever character that I'm trying to create. And as time goes, as you can see here with the Mother of Dragons, it turns into the characters that I'm trying to make. Another example can be, got a Star Wars X-Wing fighter. So there's no limitation to wire art. And I've been doing this for a long time. Since I was a little kid, I absolutely love the genre. I love Marvel, I love DC, Star Wars, anything sci-fi, I love it. So I just started making it and I never stopped.
What made you choose wire? I've seen lots of people use like 3D sculptures with clay,
right,
but I've never seen wire. So like, how is that like in your mind? You're like, man, I want to do it with wire.
Well, it all started when I was a little kid. I found a piece of wire and made a little stick man. Okay. It was so cool to me that I could make whatever I imagined, and when I started, it just kind of grew and I got better and better, and over time, in years, what I imagined became what you saw. Nice. So now it's a matter of what if I want a character, I just think about it and I start making it.
Awesome. And guys, I'm going to have Kivas' stuff all in the description, so if you see something you like, I'll show you guys off his booth. So stay tuned. Guys, as you can tell, Kivas was a really great guy, and his artwork is really awesome. I mean, like I said, this wire art style is something I had never seen before. I mean, maybe you guys out there have, but I haven't, and it really took me back. The creativity alone in these figures, I'm an action figure collector, and these are almost like, you know, custom action figures because it's like they have unlimited posability because of the wire, and he was really able to accomplish a lot of interesting and cool designs from, you know, franchises and characters that we all love. If you see any pieces from Kivas that you're like, man, I really want to add that to my collection, just go down to the description, guys. I have all his stuff right there. You can talk to him and pick up some pretty cool pieces to add to your collection. Jumping back over on that toy hunting grind, we're going to go to Roma Collectibles booth. Roma always has a darn well good selection. He has a bunch of different lines. This time he was rocking out with a bunch of autograph stuff that was really neat to see. He has a little bit of everything, Marvel Legends, Mythic Legions, and he even had some Bucky O'Hare stuff this time around, which was pretty cool to check out in person. I'm always looking to pick up a vintage Bucky O'Hare. Didn't have any vintage toys this time at his setup. He had the newer ones, but I'm looking for a vintage one to, you know, kind of be the Jackson Rabbit from the Star Wars comics, if you know what I'm talking about. But he really did have a great selection of figures, ranging from newer modern stuff to a lot older modern stuff as well. Roma always has a really good selection of Mythic Legions, and it's a line I'm really thinking about starting to invest in some of these newer waves coming out, because the detail on Mythic Legions, guys, is just incredible. Moving on from Roma's setup to another booth that had some toys. They didn't have, like I said, much toys at this show. The booths that did have them, you know, they were pretty good at offering a variety, which I really did appreciate. I got to see a really good selection at booths. It wasn't like at some toy shows you go to where, you know, booths really focused on one line or, you know, one certain thing. The booths that did have toys at this show had a great variety of different types of toys. Another really nice thing about the Comic-Con were all the artists. There were people there with a bunch of different types of mediums. There was ink, there was pencil sketches, there was watercolors, there were 3D sculptures like you saw earlier, and a really great variety. And I really appreciated seeing all the hard work that all the artists had put into their pieces, showing them off at the show, and getting to see pop culture, you know, represented by that person with their own unique take on it. Now, I see episode 1 stuff all the time, and usually it's in a bargain bin or, you know, really dirt cheap, thrown in a box. Now let me tell you, those episode 1 figures right there are some of the most mint episode 1 figures I have ever seen. So I know it's episode 1, so it's not going to be the most desirable, but I'm telling you, they were in the best shape. Now here's another really cool thing that happened at the Comic-Con. I got to run into Craig Boldman. Now if you don't know Craig Boldman, he is one of the people who works on the Archie Comics. And Archie is such a beloved comic. I mean, it's an American classic. It's a comic that, you know, I really got first into through the Archie vs. Predator series. And then I got into the regular series because of that crossover. And it is just an amazing series. And it was so cool to get to talk to the gentleman behind that and get to see some of the original art. Here with one of the original creators here that worked on Archie. So what got you into comics?
Well, I became interested, I guess, when I was a kid, watching the Superman TV show. And, but it's not really what got me in as an artist. I didn't really kind of decide on that until I was in my 20s. So I found a school that taught cartooning. It was in New Jersey, the Kubert School. I went there, and after that, that's how I got started.
And then what brought you into the world of Archie? You know, Archie's such a loved character that makes so many people happy. How'd you get into that world?
Well, I was kind of unemployed. That's the way it goes. So, you know, one of my friends said, well, you know, just go to Archie. And so I did, they took me. And I've been there for 23 years, a little over 23 years.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, guys. If we have any social media stuff, I'll put that in the description below. And stay tuned, guys. It was a real pleasure getting to meet Mr. Boldman. It's always cool to meet someone who is able to create, you know, characters or bring life to things that just bring so much joy to so many people. Overall, I had a great time at Gym City Comic Con. I may not have picked up too many things, but I got to meet some really cool new people, as well as, you know, just check out and have a fun day of toy hunting. Thank you so much for watching this video and for all your love and support. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more great videos. Have a great day, and may the Force be with you.